What's up, Transformers fans? Mondo the Dad Bottoms Prime here, back with another Moonbase 84 transmission, and today I'm checking out the Transformers Studio Series 86 Shockwave. So for those of you who might not know the story behind the SS86 Shockwave, you might be looking at it and saying this looks almost just like the Siege Shockwave, and that is because he is just a slight retool of the Siege Shockwave, and we'll talk more about that in robot mode. But first, we'll take a closer look at his vehicle mode. And again, many of you have probably seen a review on this mold many times, but we will go through it. I do like the tech details on the front. Now, he is supposed to be like a Cybertronian spaceship, and I always felt that he did look like a cool Cybertronian spaceship in this mode. More than just like a fighter, he kind of looks like a battle cruiser, like a big ship, but he wouldn't be quite that big. But yeah, you get some nice details here. Some nice panel work. His color purple is supposed to be more show movie accurate from his appearance in the show. And that's about it. Slight retool, slight recolor. Of course, you guys know that you can flip him over and actually have his gun mode. It is kind of hard to hang on to. It doesn't have much of a handle. But the thing I think is weird about that, now, I am not one of those people. I'm actually the opposite of those people that get mad when Megatron isn't a gun. We know the story why he can't be a gun, but for me, it's weird that Shockwave can't be his gun, because his blaster is a futuristic blaster. And I don't think he would fall, into the realm of the toy laws prohibiting toy guns, because we get Nerf guns that look a lot closer to, guns than a space blaster, pretty much. So I think that's odd that we still can't get a Shockwave like that. I don't get mad about it, but I just think it's odd, because they clearly designed this, as many of you know, to flip upside down and be his proper gun mode. So yeah, same Shockwave we've been getting. I will say, I say that, but this is actually my first Shockwave from this mold. The Siege Shockwave was released in Siege, of course, Takara's dramatic capture set, and the comic book edition, and somehow I didn't get any of those. So this is my first experience, of me owning it. I've experienced the Siege toy. I've experienced the Friend Siege, and I've experienced Tron has the comic edition. But we'll go ahead and transform him up, and we'll talk about some of those differences in the new retooling in robot mode. I also wanted to quickly mention that the transformation, there's not much to it. Basically, as you can see here, you can pretty much get that it's Shockwave with his arms up over his head with this cap piece on. So yeah, not very involved transformation, but that is okay in my book. I don't need a super complex transformation, but it does kind of look funny because it does kind of, you can clearly tell. And the reason I forgot to mention that is because it was stored underneath him in his spaceship mode, and it's so seamless that I forgot it was there until I transformed him back into robot mode. But yeah, I think it's funny because it kind of looks like his gun mode. So that's pretty cool. It's just a piece of purple plastic. Okay, so let's take a closer look at him, and as I said, he is a retool of the Siege mold, and what they did was, in an effort to make him more cartoon accurate, I guess the easiest word to use is they made him smoother. They got rid of, a lot of the techie, I guess people use greeble. I'll just say they got rid of the greeble or techie detail. A lot of it, they cleaned it up to make him look smoother, like on his chest and some other parts. You do still get some panel work throughout, like on his forearms and things like that, but he's a lot smoother, a lot cleaner to give him more of a cartoon vibe. I do really like, the camera's glaring, all that techie detail that they still kept in his chest. That's really cool, and it's not picking up on camera, but he has light piping, and it actually works really good. It's just not going to on my camera because I wanted it to. You get some crisp Decepticon logos on his forearms, and of course you've got his blaster hand with the hose going into his forearm from his back. And I will say, out of the box, I am kind of concerned because I don't know if you can see it, but there is some stress on that hose right out of the box. So that's not cool at all, in my opinion. I hope it doesn't snap. He does still have some panel work detail on the side of his legs, and of course this was the front of the ship and has a lot of detail. And besides that, what they changed up was the color. They gave him a slightly different shade of purple. The Siege, I would say, is darker. Same with the, I think the dramatic capture's kind of that same color, and of course the comic version is a lighter purple. And the comic version has like the shading and line work detail to make it look like, you know, he was from a comic. Articulation is still the same. He does the T, looks up, or his arms can go that far, he's not looking up in it. I won't use that because of the stress. Arm can rotate. Get about a 90-degree bicep. You do get a wrist on, you know, the arm that he has his hand. You got waist. Legs can split that far. Thigh. About 90 knee. And he does have tilt, a little tilt. It hits the sides of the leg coming down. No forward and back to speak of. But still, nicely articulated, like we've come accustomed to. Oh, and the head can look left and right, and it does have some nice tilt. It can't really go up or down, maybe, and go down a tad. We'll take a closer look at that head sculpt as well. So yeah, Shockwave head sculpt. So yeah, he is still a pretty cool figure. So that is the Studio Series 86 Shockwave. I apologize, it's not too in-depth, but like I said, pretty much this mold has been out for a while, and I just wanted to talk about some of the things they did to clean up the look to fit them in Studio Series 86. Now, like I said, this is the first Shockwave of that mold I've owned. I have messed around with all of the molds, except for maybe Dramatic Capture. Maybe I did, but it's still the Siege mold. I will say I do like what they did here. I've been on the fence about the, you know, the more cartoon, if I like the extra tech Greeble or the smoother bots more. I've been on the fence because I don't mind that Greeble, but I don't hate this either. So I've been on the fence of which, you know, style I prefer, and I'm still not sure, but I think this Shockwave looks really cool. Now, as for my favorite version of the mold, I think I have to go with the comic edition. I just really like that comic edition. It really pops. And my second favorite, I think, would be this one. And that's not to say because I prefer the smoother, cartoon accurate look more. I don't know, I just like the looks of this one a bit more, and it's not because the loss of the tech detail is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, hopefully that's the end of the Siege mold, and not that it's a bad mold, but if you're gonna keep giving us Shockwaves, let's get a different mold eventually. Like I said, I like this mold, but if you're gonna keep releasing it, stop making us buy the same one over and over again is what I'm trying to say to Hasbro. With that being said, comment and let me know what, out of all the repaints and retools of the Siege mold Shockwave, which one you like the best. And as always, thanks for docking.